We are live, family. Peace and blessings. Peace, 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 peace. Peace and blessings, family. Thank you, family, for your patience, family. I know I told you we'd be on earlier, and I mean to be a man of my word every single time. But real life doesn't always ask our permission. My son woke up from a nightmare, I think it was, and as a father, I had to stop and make sure his spirit was calm before I did anything else. So I thank you for your patience, for your understanding, family, and for being part of something real. This is the resurrection class. This is a resurrection class, and one that includes our families as well. Now, let's build. Um, First of all, for those of you who are not familiar with our lives, this is Buried in a Shallow Grave. My name is Brother Yahya, and I really truly appreciate you for tuning in as often as you do. I want to take the opportunity to thank my subscribers. I want to thank Mr. T, Mr. CT, James Hayes, Solidbud 20 Baby, Oscar E, Gregory Lee, Keisha Almendarez, Albidad, PK, Nick Wiltshire, Killer YT. Thank all of you. Thank you so much for being a part of this Buried in a Shallow Grave. And I just want you to know, family, I have so much in store for you today.
You still refuse to acknowledge, though, that the tremendous progress of any number of Negroes in all the arts, in all the political world, in all the sports world, in the entertainment world, in education, these people are not the equal of the whites with their tremendous success?
Well, if we have made progress in the way of our civilization for the white man, or in the civilization of the white man, well, why object then to him doing this for himself? Let him make a way now for himself.
But don't you feel, Mr. Muhammad, that this success is generated among the Negro youth who look up to these people as idols, and they themselves take their place in the society as successful people, inspired by their own people who have made successes?
Until he learned the truth. When he learned the truth of himself and of those who that he is worshiping, then he will go for himself. As I have this spirit to go for myself. I don't want to be a slave for you. I don't want you to use me as a servant. I want to be my independent self. I want some of this earth for my people like you. You came here and taken it by the knowledge and power of your own father from the Indian, and you made a great country out of it. Then you go back to my country and bring us here to serve you as slave, free labor. For 300 years we have did that for you, willingly or unwillingly. We did so, and our father. Now for 100 years, you say we are free. And 100 years we are not free. We are so blind, deaf, and dumb, we still look forward to you to make our clothes for us, get the cotton and the wool, go and put it through the mill and make cloth out of it for us, and we still sitting looking at you do all of this for us.
Mr. Muhammad, if you'll pardon me, I must say that your interpretation of the Negro is far different than mine. You sound more like Governor Wallace when you say the Negro is deaf, dumb, and blind. You don't want to be linked with Governor Wallace and one of the outstanding
I say that because God himself said it. It's written in the Bible in Quran. Wallace didn't like this.
No, but he announces and enunciates the same principle that you're enunciating.
Well,
the Negro is dumb.
Well, he's saying what God in the Bible says. You know, Bible said that we are blind, deaf, and dumb, and even dead.
Well, many people certainly will disagree with anything that the
Well, they
Street
disagree
says
with God and the prophets then.
only in your Bible, not in any other Bible.
It's in your Bible.
That the Negro is dumb and
I
blind?
got mine from you.
We'll have to pause for a moment, Mr. Muhammad, for a message, and we'll be right back.
Man, family, that was a beautiful, beautiful conversation and a beautiful posture that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad took in defending why we must go for self. And so with that being said, that already sets the foundation for our live today. And a lot of people have been asking, what's the purpose? What's the purpose? What's the purpose of all of this? What are you doing? Our purpose is to teach system building, economic unity, and execution-based thinking. That's our goal. Okay? All right, family. So let's get right into this. What is a cooperative? Can anybody who is a subscriber, even if you're not watching this live and you get to it later, as soon as you hear me say this, I want to know what it is that came to mind when you thought of the word cooperative. Cooperative. What is a cooperative in business? A cooperative is a group of people, okay, who agree to work together toward a shared goal that they all have. Like yesterday, I told you there was, someone, I used an example of one person, having a cow farm. I used, someone else who had a vegetation farm. And then I used someone else who had a potato farm. And all three of these people have their own business, right? But all three of them want a restaurant. And so this is a great time for these three people to meet, depending on what kind of restaurant they want, right? And I just used that as an analogy. I used, example A, person A, person B, person C, or business A, business A, business B, business C doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a part of your personal business. When you all get together, you all can get together under, business X. We talked about that. So a cooperative is a group of people. So a group can be what? What's a group? A couple is what? Two, right? But I think a group is two or more. And you find you a group. So that makes three to start out, because it's you and then the group. And this ain't hard to do, to find like-minded people who share the same goal. Now, each person contributing what they do, they're contributing what they do best. So that's why I named that farmer with the cow, because obviously, if they're already in the business of grazing and taking care of cattle, then they know what they're doing. They've done it for a period of time. They don't know much about the restaurant yet, because that's the new thing. But you want to have each person contributing to the cause in the best way that they can. And it's not a partnership built on emotions. We're gonna deal with that. I think you're gonna enjoy this live. This is Brother Yahya with another episode of Buried in a Shallow Grave, the Resurrection class. We're talking about all kinds of things today. But the basis for our conversation, just a little recap on that, is to teach system building, economic unity, and we want to execute based on our thinking. Okay? And we're in the study of cooperative, and we're learning what a cooperative is. Okay? And and we're learning that right now. We're about to talk about how having a cooperative isn't based on emotions. It's not a clique. It's not a gang. It's not any of that. It's a structure. It is a structured business based on function, purpose, and role. Everybody has a function, everybody has a purpose, and everybody has a role. Okay? So, the word cooperate, cooperate means to operate together. Operate together. That's what cooperate means. Just like the human body, family, eyes to see, hands to move, feet to walk. Each part has its own role, its own function, but they're all serving one body. Okay? A cooperative is a human system. It is a human system. You don't need to be friends with the person you're in cooperation with. I know that's our fear. That's one of our main fears. We've thought about going into business with someone else. We have these great ideas. We know that the other person has these great ideas. You even have a lot of the shared goals together. But what's keeping you back is you fear that, who you partner with is not going to do you right. All right? Some of you. We're going to get into that today. We're going to talk about how we should be going into the mindset of a system builder to get this goal shared with others so that we may grow and build a great system for ourselves. So I'm telling you now, family, you don't need to be friends with a person you're going into business, you're cooperating with, your co-op. Okay? You don't need to be friends with them. You just need to honor your role. And they're going to have to honor their role and the other person. And you're probably like, yeah, Brother Yahya, I knew that already. I knew that's what they're going to have to do, but that's not the point. The problem is, what if they don't do it? Let's talk about that. But first, we need to understand, why do we need cooperatives? We covered this a little bit yesterday. So if you're in business and you're doing the hair, uh, you're doing everything. You're the small business owner who's the barber. You're doing everything. You're promoting, you're marketing, you're working, you're cleaning. You're the one that's trying to make it grow. You're the one paying all the bills. You're the one doing this. You're the one doing that. And by yourself, you're running into these financial problems because you can't get loans. You can't get bank credit. High interest rates if you do get them. So it's so many things that's going into your mind as you're trying to get this business not only off the ground, but to that next level. We covered this in our last live. So if you want to go and see what I said about what to do in that type of situation, just go back and catch my last live. But too many of us, family, are making products all by ourselves. We live in a world that pushes individual hustle. You go in our community, you see a lot of us getting money, but we're doing it individually. We're not doing it in a collective manner. And this is why white people take our our holidays, our pain, our suffering, and they market it. And I was one of the ones that used to get upset about it. But now I realize, how am I going to be upset at them for doing something that we should be doing ourselves? They're losing in their community. Some of the things that they used to do in business, it just don't work no more in their culture, in their systems. So they come over here and they can win over here. You can't knock them for that. You just got to understand what's going on and start fixing it. You out there promoting by yourself. You trying to survive alone. You making your product by yourself. Family, listen. This is not sustainable, man. I know that's all you know. I know that's what you think is going to take you to the next level. But I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you now, that's not the way to operate. And if you go and study outside of what I'm saying, you will find that no successful business is going to win like that. No successful business. Thank you for tuning in, family. This is your brother Yahya with another episode of Buried in a Shallow Grave. And if you look to, I think it's, no, right here, to my right, I have a free ebook called Word Weapons. I'm going to leave it in the comment section for you, and I will be leaving you a module as well in the comment section. It might be in the description bar now, but if not, I'm going to leave it in the comment section so that you can actually use what has worked for me and many, many, many other people. Many, many other people, and it'll work for you. And these ebooks I'm giving you that are free, they are awesome, man. Nothing but solutions. Not a bunch of sitting around trying to, that's why it's free. I want you to know what I'm giving you is solutions. I want you to go in there, I want you to read it, and I want you to apply it. So this kind of living that we're doing in business, we are burning ourselves out. And the burnout is real. Trust me, I have done it. I remember being in Denver, man, you know, and in Denver, you've got these different places you can go to as a small business owner, and you can zone out in different parts of the city. They show you your color and where you can go and zone. You sign yourself in where you're going to be, and whatever you're doing, you post up where your zoning is allows you to go. And man, you sit there and I'm telling you, man, it's good money, but it is also tiring in the same sense. The structure, the absence of a system that I didn't have at the time. So I'm trying to keep my followers, my viewers, the people that are a part of the Ressurection class, I'm trying to keep them from making some of the same mistakes that I made. Because it took me years and years and years to get to the point to where, workshop after workshop, listening to somebody else, going through all these, reading all these books, and getting to where I am now to be able to tell you. That's why so many powerful ideas die within 6 to 7 months. Straight up in our community. I'm not being rude. It's just true. Go check the statistics on it, man. It's not because the idea is not good. The idea is awesome. It's wonderful. It's because the structure fails. We don't have no structure. We don't have a good foundation and walls built to keep us going. So now we've got a statement. This old business myth that your business don't last but 2 to 5 years when you first start, but that's just not true. It's because of you. It's because of your lack of structure. It's because of the lack of system that you have. So it's just a lie that they're telling you, and then you go in with the mind state that I'm only gonna last 2 years anyway. Oh man, you're setting yourself up. In my first ebook, which is Buried in a Shallow Grave, How to Rise in a World Designed to Keep Us Down. In this book, we talk about that. And we talk about the solutions to that. I will also leave that in the comment section. Family, you weren't meant to carry all that alone, man, in business. That's not the way it was intended for you to be. It's not the way God wanted us to be when it's not the way God wanted it for the children of Israel when God set them free from Pharaoh's clutches. He didn't want them out there trying to build the promised land, building by themselves individually. He wanted them out there to build, but he wanted them to be collective. He wanted them to find cooperatives, build structures and foundations, right? So that's what we're talking about. Not only are we trying to do what's right, but we want to do it where it can be blessed by Almighty God, the Creator himself. Okay? The structure that I'm talking about is called cooperative. It's not just a word. Okay? Thank you, family, for tuning in. I'm going to stop and pause for a moment. And I want you to take a look.
Have you ever heard the story about truth and lies?
Come on. Tell it.
Truth and lie went swimming one day. And when truth was in the water, lie got out and dressed up in truth's clothes.
Ain't that something?
So you had a well-dressed lie running around in truth's clothes.
Go ahead, sir.
So out of the water came the naked truth, running after the well-dressed lie. So when the naked truth caught up with the well-dressed lie, the naked truth had to uncover the well-dressed lie and put on his own clothes. Well, that's you. You have been robbed of your raiment, your fine garment, hit in the head, and while you were down, somebody dressed up in your clothes as the people of God, as the choice of God, as the people that fulfill the scriptures of the Word of God. And now the naked truth has caught the well-dressed lie, and the well-dressed lie. The well-dressed lie trying to hold on to truth's clothes because it got used to being well-dressed. But naked truth ain't got no clothes on. And naked truth want to cover up and look good. So I got to disrobe the well-dressed lie and leave lie with his own clothes on and put on the garment of truth. Well, that's why they holler.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because they see I caught them.
Yes, sir.
We got them now.
Yes, sir.
And we pulling off our garment. No, it's not you. You're not the chosen of God.
That's right.
You never were in bondage.
That's right.
No 400 years to nobody. But here we are, brought into America as chattel slaves.
That's right.
Not in 1619, but in 1555. So we asked Jesus, why would you do something that would bring about your crucifixion, your suffering, and the suffering of those who believed in you? Why would you do something like that? And it was because he was directed to do this by his Father, because it was the way in which his Father and he would be glorified. It was his argument with the Jewish people. So in the scriptures, that argument is written. And I would like to go over the argument that you think happened 2,000 years ago. And you don't have nobody among us that the Jews are condemning but Farrakhan. You don't have white people that will stand up strong. It's just Farrakhan. Well, he's crazy. Would you be able to listen to me and see if I'm a nut? Well, if I'm not crazy, and I'm speaking against those whom you know have the power, the influence, and the money to crush me and us. Why would you do it, Farrakhan? Greater love has no man that he would lay down his life for the sheep. See, the good shepherd is not a hireling. See, the good shepherd is not in this for some money. The good shepherd is from his father. And the father wanted to see his people delivered. So the good shepherd will lay down his life for the sheep. But the hireling, he runs. Because he wasn't in it for the people. He was in it for himself. Now, listen to the argument. Here is Jesus. Jesus said to those Jews which believed on him. Now, there were some Jews that believed in Jesus. He said, if you continue in my word, then are you my disciples indeed. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And the Jews answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How say you that we shall be made free? And Jesus answered them, saying, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin. And the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth forever. Well, if you had not been in hard bondage, but are you enslaved by sin, rebelliousness to God, doing what you and I please to do, but not submitting ourselves to God. So Jesus is saying the servant of sin abideth not in the house forever. That means there's coming a time when those who give their lives to rebellion to God will be removed from the planet. But the Son, who will submit himself to God and speak what God has commanded him and do what God has commanded him, he'll be in the house, meaning on the earth, forever. And that's why they tell you that if you believe in Jesus and follow him, you will have everlasting life. Doesn't mean that as physical beings we won't die, but it means that what Jesus brings into existence will never die. And if you are a part of his kingdom, there's no such thing as death for you. So Jesus said, well, say you are Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me. Now, I want you to stay awake. And if your neighbor look like they sleep, just nudge them. This is too important. No, not that hard, not that hard. He said, now, my word has no place in you. Now, here's scholarly writing. We didn't write it. Jesus stands on it speaks to it, and they say he's the liar. Nothing he says would they hear. Now look at this. He said, I speak that which I have seen with my Father, and you do that which you have seen with your father. Now there are two fathers here now. See, God is not the father of everybody. Come on now. We're going to church and we're going to school. We're going to mosque. We're going to synagogue. We're going to hear some truth. Look.
So, family, leave in the comment section what you thought about that video. Just leave it in the comment section, family. And let me know what you thought. Moving right along. Moving right along, family. They lied to us. Lie put on truth clothes, family, as explained by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And, you know, falsehood trying to hold on to truth codes. But, is it over here? Word weapons is just formulating a real plan around the teachings in a way that will serve us economically. There's no other way to go but through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And why do I say something like that? Why do I say that's the only way to go? Well, you tell me. What way have you found that is successful not only for you but your community as well? And where are you from? Where are you? Because I need to know if what you're doing is better than the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to us, then I want to know what you know. But until the end, there's no black man in the world that could have done the job of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Nobody. He was sent by not by a messenger of God. He was the messenger of God, and God came to him in person. In person. And listen, you can tell the tree by the fruit that he bears. He said God came in person, and he gave us not only a warning, but he gave us a guide to lead us back to the nature in which God created us in. And now everywhere you look all over the world, like people who have accepted their own and striving every day to be themselves, brother, you see a change. And the more they go, the more you'll see a change. And there's an old saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But I'm gonna tell you something. The enemy is a master deceiver. He's a master trickster. He's the father of lies. And we don't have that same nature in us. So the very world that is a heaven to him, it's a hell for you. It's a hell for you, a living hell for you. Every day you get up, you have to put on a mask as if you like doing what you do. And some of you have learned how to condition your brain into really thinking you like doing what you do. You like being disrespected, like being talked down to. You don't want to go and build a world for yourself. You want to stay in masses world, being mistreated, red line, green line, blue line, and any other line that they can come up with to keep you out of the gate, because they have gatekeepers. They keep you in your place, and you still haven't realized that. You weren't meant to carry the weight of this world by yourself. There is a community of like-minded people all over the world. Some of them are right next to you right now, sitting in your car, and you don't recognize the benefits of having that person beside you, because you think taking it to the next level in business, now you can't trust them. So what are the three essential roles that we need when we're building a cooperative? We talked about it, but we're going to go in detail today. Thank you, family. Thank you for tuning in. This is your brother Yahya with another episode of Buried in the Shallow Grave. And we're going to move right along. There are three roles, business roles, in every functioning cooperative. Okay? Number one, you can write it down if you would like. I wrote it down when I was studying this, because I wanted it ingrained into my thinking so that I could go and apply what I now had found and learned. The maker. The maker. The maker. The maker. This person creates the product. They do services. They have ideas. They use their skill to bring life, to bring something new into existence. This is the maker. That's number one. So I'm going to give you some examples. A cook making meal preps, plates, they are a maker. A designer in some type of, printing t-shirt business, caps, tumblers, they are a maker. A writer creating ebooks, they are a maker. A young sister, a young brother making natural oils, they are a maker. Without the maker, without the maker, there is nothing, absolutely nothing to sell. So that is the role of the maker. Then you have the messenger. The messenger. The messenger also, we call him the promoter. The promoter. This kind of person spreads information. This kind of person gets the word around. This kind of person, they don't make the product, they don't make the design, they don't make the food, they bring attention to it. Listen to me. This is a role. And I'm going to teach you how to make that role real. You're like, okay, that's a role, but how do I get this person to go from doing this to working with me, working for me, being a cooperative? We're going to get into that. If you're really serious, hit that fire emoji down in the comment section, family. Please like, share, and subscribe to your brother's channel. This is your brother Yahya with another episode of Buried in a Shallow Grave. Thank you for tuning in. So even a person that's posting, in different Facebook groups would be considered a promoter or a type of business messenger. Even on YouTube or TikTok, or Instagram, Okay. So a YouTube or a TikTok, Instagram content creator showcasing their business, they're also considered a promoter. And you've been doing this all yourself. These first two things I've been naming, you've been doing all of that. You've been like, oh, I've been doing that. Yeah, I know. And that's why you burnt out. And without the messenger, without the promoter, the product itself never leaves your neighborhood. Stays right in the back of your car, in your trunk, somewhere, building dust, because nobody knows about your product. Nobody knows what you have. Okay? So that's the importance of having a promoter, a cooperative. Okay? So, number 3, the mover. The mover. We also call the mover the purchaser. The purchaser, or the logistic. What is it? The logistician. I can't say it, but I know what it is, and I know how to apply it, and that's what matters. Logistician. I think that's how you say it. Logistician. 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 I'll get it one day. I'll get it. Okay, so this person is the mover. They are the purchaser. They are the one who is going out buying, the containers the product need to be in. They're buying whatever, the seasonings. They're buying, the forks. They're buying the clippers, the new guards. They're buying, the material that you need online to set up your ebook the quickest way. They are the delivery person. They are someone managing customer orders. They are the buyer who keeps reinvesting into little small groups uh, inside of the business that you might got some money put up. These are the people that just invest in you. They might invest in steaks. They might invest in the fries. They might invest in the whatever, the new chairs, or flyers, promotion, whatever it is. Without the mover, the product never reaches its buyer. Without the mover, the product never reaches its buyer. Because first of all, you got to have a product. They're going to be buying the product. And they're also going to be delivering the product as well. Okay? This falls under the mover. The mover. Okay? Let's keep going. I have more information for you. If this makes sense to you and you like what you're hearing so far, please hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. We're going to keep on moving. This is information people charge you. They charge me, but I'm going to give it to my people because I want to see us activating in a way that is conducive to our future. And real solutions is the only way we're going to get there, man. I remember reading books, man. Just a quick story. These, rich dad, poor dad books. And, I've read a lot of books, family. And don't get me wrong, I found a lot of great, valuable information built on it. But it was coming from a mind that didn't really understand the full dynamics of my culture. I mean, yeah, one of the dads, he lived a lifestyle kind of like us a little bit. But the other dad didn't know nothing about my lifestyle. And then the poor dad, he just, I could just go in on it. I love the book, great read, but a lot of it I couldn't apply as I'm trying to do with you today. So we needed new systems. We needed new systems for thinking. As this old world goes out, family, as we are depreciating and devaluing and being devalued, and this world is losing value, we need to start figuring out what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and we need real solutions. Okay? I'm gonna show you now. We just talked about that. Somebody said, well, how do I go and find this person? How do I build a cooperative step by step, brother Yahya? Do you really know what you're talking about? Or are you on here just playing with me? Do you know how to build a cooperative? Because I understand what you're saying, bro, and I feel you. Yes, you're right. We do need a cooperative. I do. My family. We got this family business. I could start right here with my brothers and my nephews. But I need to know how I do this. How do I do this step by step? How do I make this come from a fear that I have to actually me stepping out and doing this without the fear? Let's talk about it. All praise is due to Allah. So what we're gonna do is pick two other people. We need to be searching now. We out there. We barbering. We cooking. We got it. We got our little lane, whatever it is, our ebook making. We got, whether it's our content creation. We looking for somebody. We looking for two other people. Huh? What are we looking for two other people for? Well, we building a cooperative, y'all. That's why we looking. We're gonna look for two other people. What are we looking for in two other people, brother Yahya? Number one, we looking for someone who can produce something. And it don't have to be what you producing. Remember, we filling gaps. We're here to fill these gaps, okay, in our community. Gaps that we see that there is a need. We want to fill them. There are pockets in our economics, in our system, that don't show that we have value in it. And so we can fill these pockets in the business. We don't see them, but I've been telling you about them in each live, how we're going to fill these business pockets. Okay? Let's start with finding somebody that can produce something. Because if they're not a producer like you, then they don't need to be. They have another job to do. But it's not being in that group of cooperatives. Okay, you need somebody that is a producer. That's number one. You also need somebody who has the gift of gab and is willing to be a promoter. Someone that is willing to spend time promoting your product, your whatever it is that you do, your ebook, your barbershop, your beautician shop, your barber beautician shop, your lawn care service, your t-shirt, cap, and carpet making business, your engraving business, your ACMR content creating. You want these people to be behind you promoting your product. We're looking for someone who can do that. These are two things. So number one, what? We're looking for someone who's a producer, who can produce something. And I'm going to get to the why in a minute. Someone who can move the product or the money. That's the third one. Someone who can move the product, meaning someone that's the mover, someone that can get up in the morning, treat it like a job. They get up at 6:30 in the morning, and you got to be able to deliver this to them as if they're going to take this seriously. You see, we'll get into that. But this person is gonna get up. They're up at 5 o'clock. They know they got to be to work at 6:30. They're already in the car at 6. They already moving at 6:30. You can call them, and now they're doing their thing. They're out there promoting, moving the product, or or the money. And we'll get to the money part in a minute. But I do need you to understand, you need somebody that's gonna move that product. And that person right there, here you go. You say, don't that person got to be trustworthy? To a certain extent, yes. Everybody has to be trustworthy in this. You don't want nothing built on falsehood. So, yeah, you got to make sure you picking the right kind of people. Yeah. But if you pick somebody that's already in business, who's already established, who's already producing something, 9 times out of 10, there's ways to defend yourself against someone who is not honest. And we covered it a little bit in our last resurrection class, but we'll talk about it some more today, okay? And they do not have to be your family. I have a family member, I ain't gonna say no name, but they want to go into business with another family member. I personally think that it is a wonderful idea. Um, but I realize and recognize first what we have to do is in this particular situation is find a way for one of my family members to overcome the fear of being in business with this other family member. Okay? I understood that. I understood the need right there. And I wanted to figure out a way to apply a solution to it. Okay? They don't have to be uh your friend, your family. They do have to be rather consistent. I said be quiet, guys. They do have to be consistent. Family, if you have not ever seen this, you are missing out. You are missing out. This is intellectual power. And when I say it is the most awesome, listen, man, I'm telling you, if you haven't had this intellectual power by Brother Rizza Islam, I want you to go on Facebook and find pull ups, search app Rizza, Rizzaislam. Pull it up. And when you pull it up, go in there, you'll see intellectual power. This right here has changed my life. Can you see it? It has changed my life. It has. It's changing my wife's life. And guess what? I even gave some to my son, and I see a tremendous difference in him. It is not medicine. It is a herb, and it is a natural herb. It is an organic herb. All of the herbs. It has so many. Batarak is one of them. It has so many different things that are in them that are health to us. And I really want you to tune in to Brother Rizza Islam. Check out some of his content. Brother is on fire. Brother is an earth mover. And I'm trying to follow in my brother's footsteps in just about everything that he's doing. Why? Because I understand the value of connecting with my people. I don't envy. I don't get jealous. I don't get upset when I see my brother growing. I want to learn. I'm humble enough to see my brother growing, learn what he's doing, and also help him and learn enough about it so that I can help myself and share the information that I know. And it's really benefiting me to be that way. Setting up my mind that way has been a success. I have more friends in business now. I have more ideas around me that aren't willing to share what they think with me. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing, man, to have brotherhood like that. So, what are we doing now? Since we know that they don't have to be family and they don't have to be friends, who are they going to be? Well, y'all need to agree on some stuff. Whoever it is, whether it's family, friends, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, mother, father, it doesn't really matter. What matters most is you guys' agreement. Your agreement. What do you agree on? What are you building? Who are you serving? Who's going to be responsible? Why it matters. You want to write these things down clearly. And I'll give you an example. We are a group selling affordable healthcare. Okay? And we're selling it to working mothers in our city, maybe in a couple of other cities around. But I'll be honest. Don't let ego lead. Don't let ego lead. Who is the maker? Who is the messenger? Who is the mover? Write it down. And whatever you decide on, Let that person play their role. Let that person play their role. Stay out of their business. Absolutely stay out of their business while they're doing their role. Meaning, don't you try to come out of your role and go into their role, because now you're breaching the agreement. And see, that's bad for business. That's bad for emotional uh, encouragement between you and your cooperatives. It's not going to encourage them emotionally to be, uh, in good vibrations with you while you're in business. If you're the maker and you're trying to be the promoter, and or you the promoter and you trying to be the maker, and I'm out there, man, selling it, and they say, man, can you make it just a little bit more like this? I mean, you can. There's a system you can set up to keep that kind of data where you guys can always upgrade yourselves. And we can get into that. We will get into that because it's how you build a great system no matter what you're doing. You want to keep data on what you're doing good at, what you're not doing good at, who likes it, what the what everybody's saying about your product or your service or your business. You want to keep an eye on that. It's important. But what you don't want is for your cooperatives to interchange their roles at any time. If you're the maker, you need to stay the maker the duration of y'all's cooperative business agreement. If you are the messenger, you need to stay the promoter. You need to stay the promoter the remainder of your uh, business. And same for the mover. All of you need to play your roles, and it's important. And then if all of you are playing those roles, you write these things down that you're going to be responsible for. And if everybody agrees on it, then everybody needs to commit to it. Okay? And we'll get into what happens if the person breaks the commitment. And I talked about it just a little bit yesterday. How is it that we know exactly what we would do? If we went into business with white folk and they didn't keep their commitment, we know exactly what we would do. Right? But when it comes to ours, we don't know what we would do. See, that's just fear. That's just fear holding you back. You don't even know if this person gonna do something, but you're already worried about it before it even happened. But you don't be worried about that when it comes to white folk and you doing business with them. You happy. All praise is due to Allah. So we need to write down the expectations that we have. We need to write them down, and we want to write them down because we want to make them clear. And we need clear answers too from the cooperatives. We need clear, concise, precise answers about what everybody is going to be doing. We talking about system building. And family, this is your brother Yahya with another episode of Buried in the Shallow Grave. And this is the Ressurection class. Is anybody rising in their thinking while listening and taking notes and thinking over what you might apply and what you're gonna do? Does anybody have anything they want to say? If you do, you can leave it in the comment section anytime, family. Your brother is willing to respond. There's no comment too deep that I'll run from, and I may not know the answer. And if I don't, I'll just say, family, I don't know the answer, but let me try to find out for you, and I'll get back to you. So we need to have clear answers. How often do we check in with each other? How do we divide the money? What happens if someone slacks off? We need to know what everybody else thinks about what if someone else slacks off in business. See, this is a conversation you're going to have with your cooperatives. And when you do this, everybody now has a part in the decision making of what happens if that person uh, doesn't keep their end of the bargain, doesn't commit to what they were supposed to be doing. So now all three minds have decided that this is what should happen. So right there, psychologically, it just makes things so much easier for everyone and then y'all gonna sit there and agree on it. And you're gonna make sure, and I want you to make sure everybody is in agreement. If one of the cooperatives seem like they're not fully with it, you need to stop right there. Before you sign, you need to stop right there. And y'all need to deal with whatever it is. Because, and you don't have to be aggressive, you just talk to them. Try to figure out what is it about this that they don't agree with. Because it's gonna be important for you later to make those decisions ahead of time. Then when you put it in black and white, family, and y'all sign off on everything, you have a legal document. And I'll show you how to make those legal documents. I write legal documents. I would say I'm a writ writer, but I'm not a writ writer. I just understand. And I'm willing to read, and I'm willing to help where I know. So, and I know you want to know how you're going to divide that money down, don't you? If three barbers now got this shop, y'all sharing everything, everybody need to know how we're going to divide the money down, right? So we need a system in place that we can keep up with expenses and, costs and, what we're putting back into the business. And we need to have that all under our wing. So you want to ask questions like, how do we grow this into a system that lasts a long time? We want to be in business at least 60 years. I don't know how long you want to be in business, but you want to know how long everybody wants to be in business as a co-op. Okay? As a co-op. Because sometimes eventually when things start going good, one of you might want to venture off and do your own thing. Now you've built enough, you know, money and understanding, and you might want to go in different directions. So the contract that you have, the agreement that you have is maybe not, it's not a forever contract. It's not like you sign to these music contracts that they sign black people to these days. You get to make your own agreement, and everybody's going to sit down and talk it out. You wanted to know how to build a co-op because you can't do everything by yourself. So Brother Yahya in this resurrection class is trying to share with you how to do that. If you like what I'm saying so far, family, please comment in the comment section. I'm going to keep going. Okay? You ready? Okay. Why you do not have to like everybody that you cooperating with? You don't like them. Fine. Here's why you don't have to. Here's where many of us fall short. We think if we don't like somebody, we can't work with them because that's what we've been conditioned to, and that's what happens to us a lot. We disagree with somebody in our community, we don't really want to be around that person no more. And we haven't learned how to deal with the condition of our people. We all are in a hell of a condition, but no great leader in any kind of business can do business by himself. By himself. So business is not about comfort. It's not about you having peace with everybody that you're in business with. It's about the contribution that everybody makes and how it values what everybody's doing. It's the contribution that everybody makes and the value that it gives to what all 3, 4, 5, or how many ever cooperatives it is doing. Does that make sense? You don't have to like them. You don't like everybody on your job, but you keep coming in every morning. I'm finna talk some noise to you now. You don't like so-and-so working down there on the end down there, but you still get up every morning and you go down there and you start working, don't you? All right, now don't make me get to bring my old man character out. Y'all should check out Old Man McMillan. I have a character, and this character, he's an old man, and he leaves a lot of different messages. He's a comedian. He's a jokester. He can sing. He does it all, right? But the mission with him is to bring back some, black father, black male role model type of humor, where I'm not wearing a dress and where I'm not coming out of my character to be funny. Trying to bring back that old Bill Cosby vibe. So, with that being said, family, you get up every morning and you show up to get that check. You don't have to like every delivery man that come to your front door. You don't have to like every USPS person that drop off your package. You don't have to like every person that come through that Sonic line, but you steady going through that McDonald's line. Go get that number one, that number two. But you don't like them sitting at that counter. Now, quit playing with me and talk back to me. So, I'm just saying, you don't like everybody on your job now. You know you don't. You know you don't like everybody on your job. But you ain't going to let them stop you from coming up there picking up that check on Friday. All right? So, there you go. The same applies in your business. You're not building a soul tie with people, man. Just like when you get up and you go to work, you got a phrase at work. You say, I ain't come up here to be your friend. Well, that's the same thing when you go into business. You didn't do this to be nobody's friend, did you? You're not building soul ties, man. What we're building is systems. We are system builders. We're going to opt out of these old systems that don't work, that some of us already in business are mirroring ourselves after. And when this world goes down, we'll end up going down because God has something new in mind for us. He wants a new heaven and a new earth. And we can't do that until we're resurrected in our thinking, in our mindset. And so Brother Yahya is here as a humble servant, as a little brother, and a student of my own curriculum. I study this every day because sometimes, family, I get in here and listen to myself and I be like, man, I need to do this part again because, that's some good information. And I'm not bragging or trying to toot my own horn, but I am saying that I want to value what I'm doing for you so much that I can go back and get something of value from it, even for myself. And so with that being said, family, that's what I'm trying to do. So if you'll give me a second, family, I'm going to play you something. And then, family, I want you to leave comments in the comment section.
Jesus, 2,000 years ago, was no lover of white people as they claim. According to his own preachers, he was not a lover of the house of Israel. That's right. He condemned them as enemies. Right. That's right. He says here in 1844 that ye are your father, the devil. That's right. And the lust of your father ye will do. Right. What is these lust of the devil? The lust of your father. He answers himself. He says he was a murderer from the beginning. Right. And abode not in the truth. Right. Now who couldn't wrestle in daytime. He had to let go when day comes. So it is with this world today. They have to let go when truth comes. That's right. That's right. Yes, sir. That's right, dear.
Peace and blessings, family. I'm sure you enjoyed that. I'm sure you enjoyed that. Um, Seemed like it should have been a little bit longer. Maybe I need to extend the whole part of it, but I'm sure that if you want to watch the video as well, the full, I will leave it as well in the comment section so that you can hear what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had to say to us in truth about not only what we believe, but about the truth about the system of falsehood. We're in a system of falsehood. I know you know that. Nothing that we look at is what it seems. Everything that we see has some kind of hidden agenda behind it. And it's terrible. So family, we're gonna get ready to close this out, but I'm gonna give you just a few more things I want you to take, and I want you to apply these things to yourself and to what you understand about what I've said. Now, you're afraid to go and do this business with someone because you've been under the illusion that you have to be a soul ties. You have to trust this person all the way. You don't have to have no fears of doing business with them. No, all of that is going to be there. All of that is going to be there. But we talked about how to go around that and to overcome those fears and how to feel more comfortable about it going into it. Because the fears that you have probably are not even worth having in the first place. You are building systems, not soul ties. Okay? If everybody knows their job and respects the mission, which you've made that clear in that room when all of y'all are in there together, writing these things down about who's responsible, what we're going to do, when we're going to pick up money, how many times we'll see each other a month. When y'all doing all of that, you're also going to talk about what happens if one of us don't pull our end of the bargain. Everybody's going to agree. Everybody's going to agree. You're not gonna leave that room and somebody is in there feeling like, I really don't know about. No, 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 no. Let's go back in here. Here, I'll cancel work, but let's go back in this room and talk, cause I need to make sure that you and I and the other cooperative are on the same level. We don't want nobody feeling like they're not understood. Okay? So if everybody knows that and respects the mission, personal differences do not matter. It don't matter what the other person is. This is business. I don't want to hear this foolishness about you can't find nobody to do business with. No more. Because it's not true. You haven't found anybody to do business with. That's the truth. That's the truth. You have not found anybody to do business with. And it's not anybody's fault but ours, right? It's not anybody's fault but ours. So, uh, you know, we keep our eyes on what is potentially great to talk about here in the resurrection class. We are always checking to see what the need is. We're always looking to see how can we fulfill the need of what we might have left out in the last live. We don't want to just be talking and talking about nothing. I don't want to do that. I think it's a waste of my time. I think it's a waste of your time. And man, you could be doing something else with your time. And I don't want to do that with you. I want to at least, if I don't have nobody but 5 people, 10 people, those 5, 10 people, I want them to know this dude is not just trying to, flim flam me. He telling me something that he might not even know is valuable to me. He might be flim flamming, but he's still giving me some valuable information. However you want to view your brother, that's fine. But I'm here as a servant. I'm just here as a little brother and a student of my own curriculum. And the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is what guides me. I'm not going uh I'm not going to tell you that I've done this all on my own. As a matter of fact, I have done none of this on my own. If it weren't for the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I wouldn't be nothing today. I'm a good father because of the teachings. I'm a good son because of the teachings. I'm a good brother because of the teachings. I'm a good friend and a good business partner because of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I'm only going to grow. I'm just a babe, man. I'm just a babe at this. But I feel like I'll be here a long time unless it pleases Allah that I go and leave this world. But I don't believe that I'll be leaving anytime soon, inshallah. So what keeps the cooperative alive? Now that everybody has established themselves as, their role, they have their role and everybody's operating and everybody's doing what they're doing, how do we agree that, not in what we say, but by showing it that, we're not just here for short term. We're here based on our agreement, and we're going to fulfill our agreement that we have with each other. What keeps the cooperative alive? Well, I can tell you it's not having a friendship with your cooperative. That's not what keeps it alive. It's the agreement that you have. That's why I wanted you to stay in that room and make sure that you get a clear understanding of your agreement. Okay? Did we agree to meet every Friday? Then meet every Friday. Did we agree to split profits 3 ways? Then split the profits 3 ways. Did we agree to serve, the community on, one Sunday out of every 6 months? Or, did we agree to serve the community and have dignity and pride and always show customer service no matter what? Then do that. Keep your word. Friendships fall apart. I've had people that you wouldn't believe that I thought was my friend, but they weren't my friend. They were just passing through. Friendships fall apart, family. But agreements, agreements create system. When a group stays loyal, well, I guess if the group stay loyal, you don't have to really worry about nothing. But if the group stays loyal to the mission that you all have, you don't need to like the person. You don't need to like each other to win together. Both of y'all cannot like each other and still win in business. As a matter of fact, you probably better off with someone you don't like than someone you do like. And I'll get into that in a minute. And I'll tell you why. Because we compromise with people that we like. We're not willing to stand on business with people that we like. We show a little, wiggle room with people that we like, right? But like I said, When you have an agreement, it does change a lot. What breaks a cooperative? What breaks the relationship? Do you know? Does anybody know what breaks the cooperative relationship? Huh? What breaks it? Let's talk about protection. You can't build something this valuable without guarding what you have. Whatever it is, if it's that restaurant, this barbershop, that beautician shop, you cannot build this as valuable as you want to build it without guarding it. You have to protect it. Here are three things, family, that destroy cooperatives. This is what's going to make it not work. When one person wants more attention or control than the mission allows them, than the agreement allows them, this creates a competition. A competition within the team that is not supposed to exist. Laziness. Laziness. When one person consistently, family, fails to do the part that they promised on that agreement that they would do, but still expects the full reward at the end of the week, the month, whatever y'all agreed to, the group starts losing trust, business trust, and silence. 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 If there's no structure for accountability, family, if you don't have some kind of system set up for even the cooperatives to take accountability for not keeping their end of the agreement, small issues will get ignored. And those small issues will soon turn into big issues. So you need a system in place for, for situations like that. And I'm gonna break this down. The solution, family, is really, really good communication skills. Really, really good communication. We need structure in our communicating anyway. Most of us in our community, we don't really communicate all that well, and it's really not our fault. We just have a problem with communication in certain ways. I'm not saying that we don't know how to talk. We know how to talk real well, and we can understand real well. But we need a structure for communicating with our cooperatives. Let's say you're 15 years old. You're a 15-year-old brother who makes, them beaded bracelets. Okay? Your cousin, he promotes them for you on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And you call your group something like, Royal Wristwear, Royal, Twist, Royal Wrist Twist. Okay? You got some kind of fancy name for it. Okay? Y'all agree on everything. Y'all agree? And now each bracelet that you sell for $10, each of y'all get $3.33. Okay? That leftover 1 cent that you have goes into a supply jar. Did you hear me? That 1 cent, I know you know how to do math. Got three people, everybody got $3.33 off of that $10. It's 1 penny left, right? 333, 666, 9.99, right? Got 1 penny left. What you gonna do with it? You're gonna put it in the supply jar. Now, I'm just using this analogy. That's gonna be maybe a lot bigger, in your operation. But that 1 cent, it's non-negotiable. You've created a system where we know that that's what we're supposed to do. Now, every Sunday, y'all meet in the park or, at the, I don't know, bus station, and y'all plan out who's doing what for the week. By month 2, family, y'all sold, 100, 200 bracelets. You're not chasing followers. You're not chasing clout. You're building a cooperative system from the ground up. You say, yeah, man, that sounds good, but man, how much money? What's gonna be the benefits? What's the benefits? What's the benefits of building a cooperative? What are the benefits of building a cooperative? A lot of benefits, family. I can tell you one right now, ain't money. You get rest. You get rest, you get to sleep, you get to do things that you like to do a lot more often than you used to do them without falling off. You share pressure. You share bills. You share, you know, understanding. You share decision making. You share all this pressure without collapse. And it's better that all 3 or 4 or 5, how many of you it is, come together on these things. You also multiply opportunity. Everybody that's a cooperative can eventually have somebody to help them. And it's just amazing because you begin to see the fruits of your labor, and then you begin to move like a body. You're moving like a body, not just like a broken limb or over here straggling by yourself. You're a unit. And most importantly, family, you stop depending on the system that has already failed you. You stop depending on that system. And you start building your own, and you start recognizing, dang it, I don't know what took me so long. I should have been doing this. So now that you got this cooperative down and everybody's in trust with each other, everybody's really enjoying what they're doing. None of y'all really friends. Y'all don't have to be friends. Y'all already know that. But y'all got this agreement. And everybody's operating. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Um, you started to realize, dang, man, I better protect these 3 people, and protect what we have, because now we're coming into some success. Whether I like them or not, we are coming into success. And the question is, how do I protect my team? You protect the team, family, by putting these things right here in place. Are you ready? You and your cooperatives, family, need weekly meetings. Weekly meetings. They don't have to be long. They can be 15-minute meetings. But let that be the minimum. I mean, a real good conversation at least take 15 minutes. So 15 to however long y'all go. 2 to 3, 4 hours, how many, whatever it takes. But y'all need weekly meetings. You need weekly meetings, and you need shared access to one folder or a notebook with the records of everything in it. Everybody needs to have that folder and be able to access that folder, where all the numbers are, where all the, mail is coming to, we need that. We need all of that. And we need all of us to be able to access that. That's important. When you're talking about protecting your cooperative, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's one of the main things you can do that will help you in a lot of ways, because that builds a lot of trust. You're not hiding anything. You're not trying to keep anything from being seen, and you'll build a long, trusting, long-lasting relationship like that. And you protect it also. Now we talking about longevity. I hope y'all not looking for a different type of protection uh definition, but I'm gonna give it to you straightforward. You got to set some boundaries on your money use. Y'all have to have a line of demarcation where you use how much you use the money, and then that's it. That's the cap, and you get out of there, right? Uh, you may even make it difficult where one can't go in there and get it without having it signed off by the other two people. And what that's going to create is built-in accountability. It's going to create built-in accountability. If you don't show up 3 times, we pause your share. You hear me? You ain't been there. Yeah, you still got your position. Yeah, you still are cooperative, and nobody, that's not an agreement. But as a protecting mechanism, a system for protection for my business, if you don't show up 3 times, we're gonna pause your share because you haven't been here to help us. You haven't been here to move it, whatever your role is. Someone else had to pick it up while you were gone, and and that's just the agreement. That's the agreement we're making. And before we even get this thing started, we need a clear understanding on that. Before you sign off, do you understand? That's what we're doing. Okay. And then you need a certain type of data that you can collect. And this data is a regular review of your goals. You need a regular review of your goals. And all of your cooperatives need to see it. And this will be in the meeting room when y'all meet up weekly for those 15 to however long y'all stay there to talk. These regular reviews are just a way to kind of reposition yourself and update your goals. If you've already met old goals, then it's a way for you to reset, or not really reset, but readjust and set new goals for you all to meet. Okay? This makes your cooperatives resilient, it makes them disciplined, and it builds trust and self-sufficiency. Okay? So, this is the final reflection I want you to have. Family, there's a difference between being a hustle and a structure, a hustle and a business, a hustle and an EIN. Straight up, there is a difference. There is a difference. A structure lives when you delegate, organize, and protect it. It still lives. We are no longer here to beg people for what we need and what we desire for our community to have. We're just here to build. We're not here to complain. We don't want to fight. We don't want to argue. And we're not going to keep going outside of our system to share our money with you. I'm sorry. That's over. The less we can spend over there, the better, and more we can spend over here. We're here to build something new. We won't build the old thing as new. We're going to build something new, and we're opting out of the old. Okay? We're no longer depending on emotional highs for us to choose our cooperatives. We understand now that we can choose these, and I want you to be out there looking for them too. You know what to look for now. You know how to look for your maker. You know he needs to be producing something. You know how to look for your promoter. You know how to look for your mover. You know now. And if you're new and you're just coming in, this is Brother Yahya with another episode of Buried in the Shallow Grave. And we're talking in the resurrection class about many, many valuable things that we can do and we need to do and we will do to build an economic base for us to build on. We're talking about fulfilling gaps within our black systems, our black economics. We're talking about building a business from a hustle to an enterprise, from a business to an empire. Seriously, not in theory. We're talking about real life solutions and how to go about doing it. If you don't believe me, all you got to do is just back up and watch this video. And you may not like everybody that you're building with. We talked about that. But if they can hold their own, if they can hold their position and keep the agreement that they made in that room when all of the cooperatives were in there and they had the opportunity to say and feel and write whatever they wanted to write down. If they're not keeping their obligations to that, then something's wrong. There is a problem. But if they are respecting the mission and they're positioned in their role and they're fulfilling their mission in their role and they show up with integrity every day, that's your team, man. That's your team. All right, family. So I want you to ask yourself, get your pen and paper. Get your pen and paper, family. Get your pen and paper. What can I do well right now? Not tomorrow. What can I do well now? That's your role. That's your role. That's your role. Are you a good maker, producer? Or are you a good promoter? Do you have the gift of gab to get out and talk about the product? Or are you the mover? You like to go and travel and load and unload, or is that you? Then that's your role. Okay? Who else do I know? Who else do I know that might be consistent and serious enough for me to go out there and present this position to? That's one of your team members. That's one of your cooperatives. Am I ready to build something that doesn't depend on me being in a good mood? Ooh. Am I ready for that kind of responsibility? Because something and someone and somewhere is dependent on your services. So am I ready to build even when I don't feel like it? Am I ready to be consistent like that? Because now I'm joining in with 2 to 3 to 4 or 5 other people that are going in business with me. And Sarah has great work ethics, but I have a mother that she doesn't. Well, these are things you need to talk about. If you have a mother that has some disability issues and y'all need to put that in an agreement. Give them the opportunity to know what's going on. We don't need any loose gaps in this creation of a new system. If y'all can agree, then you're ready to build. You're ready to build a real cooperative system. Okay? All right. Our next resurrection class, family, it ain't gonna be no joke. It's not gonna be a joke. It will cover how to write your first cooperative agreement. How to write your first cooperative agreement. That live is going to be somewhere around 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, okay? And what you'll learn in there is we'll talk about the 5 parts of every working cooperative plan. The 5 parts to every working cooperative plan, and how to divide value without drama. I know what we're dealing with. I know what we're dealing with. And I understand. And that's why Brother Yahya is here today to share with you some information on how to do what you want and need to do without the fears of doing it. We want to talk about in this next one what to include legally, even in your notebook. Y'all gonna have a notebook agreement. You need to include certain things in that agreement. And how I'm gonna teach you how to include those things in your agreement so that when everybody sign off, everybody's responsible for what they signed on. Okay? Now that's gonna kill a lot of that fear that you have to go in business with your brother and cousin now. And it'll kill it for them too. And it probably will kill it at the agreement door. Because some of them that don't have good intentions, they may not even go into business with you based on the agreement. Okay, we're going to talk about how to set up your own digital system for tracking the progress. Hey, brother, yeah, you know how to do that? Alhamdulillah, family. I do. I know how to do it, and I'm going to show you how to do it, and then you're going to do it. Okay? Okay. We're not here for the hype. We're not here for praise. We're not here for that foolishness, man. We're not here for that. We got brothers out there really suffering, man, right now at work, going through hell. I've been there. I've been there, man. And we got some that's gonna wake up tomorrow going through the same hell if people like you and I don't get together and build something for them to come to, somewhere for them to be employed. We got to start employing our own, man. We're not here for no hype. We're not here for no hype. Thank you, baby. Thank you. As my daughter. We're not here for hype, man. We just we want to see you resurrected in your mindset. You know, we want to see your mind go from one way of thinking to another way of thinking. And we can do that. And we're going to do that. And so just let me know if you want, if you need a module to follow by, or, you don't want to go back and watch this live. You just want a quick module. Let me know in the comment section, and I will send you one straight to you. Family, I thank you for another wonderful live. I think this one is going to be impactful. I'm not so much worried about what goes on while I'm doing it, because I know the information that's in it will be impactful as we grow. So thank you, family, for tuning in to another episode, Buried in a Shallow Grave, where we talk about all kind of things, family. We don't want this to be us. We don't want to be chained down to a system as zombies walking around in a system that we're always at the effect side of. We are never on the other side. We got to learn how to take off the chains. We got to learn how to change the mentality and the mindset. Or else we might not be walking down the road like these men right here are with chains on physically. But mentally and spiritually, we'll continue to be buried in a shallow grave. I thank you, family, for tuning in to another episode with your brother Yahya. This is the Resurrection class, and we shall see you soon.